No, no vamos. Get a la stona. No, la stona es bye. Get a la crew. No, stona. Crew. Stona. Crew. Stona. Crew. Okay. Jeez.
Did you know minions have a secret language that's more than just gibberish? But it's not just fun. Their language reveals hidden secrets, like Matoka.
Lebido?
Matoka.
You'll never guess what it really means when the minions are feeling hungry. Because if there's one thing that fires up a minion faster than a villain's plan, it's food. Their language is overflowing with edible expressions, from the famous banana to the unexpected paneer tikka masala. It's not just obsession, it's communication. In the minion world, food isn't just for eating. It's a whole vocabulary of craving, chaos, and comedy. At the heart of this edible lexicon is matoka. To an outsider, it sounds random. But in Minionese, matoka might just be their version of saying, "I'm starving," or "feed me now." You'll hear it when their eyes widen, their bellies rumble, and they start chasing fruit like it's the last thing on earth. The word doesn't need translation. It's pure, dramatic, and totally relatable. And it's not just about tropical fruit. They've shouted out potato mid-stampede and randomly screamed paneer tikka masala in the middle of their nonsensical speeches. Why that dish? No one knows. But it shows that minions don't stick to one culture's cuisine. They sample from everywhere and throw their own spicy spin on it. That's part of the charm. They might understand the English words, but they'll still twist them into something louder, funnier, and far more chaotic. Context is everything with Minionese. When food words start flying, it usually means trouble. Whether they're ransacking a kitchen, chasing a lunch cart, or just emotionally devastated over a dropped banana, food becomes the emotional core of the moment. Hunger speaks loudest, and in their world, it's always urgent, exaggerated, and completely over the top. Minions don't just eat food. They talk food. They feel food. Sometimes they even flirt with food. And you won't believe what happens when a minion tries to flirt with a hydrant using food language. Let's rewind to when Stuart spots someone he finds charming. He doesn't go for a simple ballo. He leans in, smooth as a sunglass-wearing potato, and delivers the now iconic "Ballo Papagena, tu le bella con la papaya."
Oh, hello, Papagena. Tu le bella con la papaya.
It's not just gibberish, it's poetry, or at least the minion version of it. Let's break it down. Papagena sounds exotic, sweet, and oddly familiar. It may be traced back to Mozart's opera character of the same name, a whimsical, lovable woman who steals the show with charm. For minions, that vibe stuck. Papagena seems to have turned into their flirty go-to term for someone beautiful, kind of like saying cutie with an extra syllable and a goofy grin. Then comes the second part, "Tu le bella con la papaya." Translated loosely, it's something like, "You beautiful with the papaya." It makes zero sense, and yet it makes total sense. That's the magic of Minionese. The sentence blends broken Spanish, theatrical tone, and of course, a fruit. Because no minion sentence is complete without a snack. It also shows something deeper. Their words don't always follow logic, they follow feeling. When a minion's smitten, they reach for whatever sounds sweet, funny, or delicious. Flirting becomes a fruit salad of languages and emotions. The result? Something that makes you laugh and look twice. Minionese has a way of capturing personality through nonsense. Stuart's line doesn't just show he's interested, it shows he's confident, dramatic, and just a bit absurd. That one sentence blends beauty, romance, and a snack item in a way only a minion could pull off. And just when you think you've cracked their code, wait till you hear how minions might think papaya means something completely different. First listen, Blumock.
No, mille due, aspetta. Che blamok.
Just sounds like another silly minion word, like banana said with a mouthful of marbles. But pay closer attention. This word hits different. It's the way a minion huffs it under their breath, the way they fling it at another with a scowl. Suddenly, Blumock starts to feel sharp, like it's not just noise but a full-blown insult in disguise. Minionese doesn't always follow grammar rules, but it thrives on tone and context. The same word can shift meaning based on how it's delivered. Blumock might sound goofy at first, but in the right moment, Say, when Kevin trips over a toolbox and snaps at a buddy, it lands with the weight of a cartoon curse word. Not too harsh for a kid's movie, but just spicy enough to raise an eyebrow. Minions don't rely on traditional insults. Instead, they invent their own slang from scratch. Words like blumok or tatata balatu aren't pulled from dictionaries. They're born from chaos, emotion, and the occasional electrical mishap. And somehow, the audience still gets the message loud and clear. There are scenes where a minion slaps down a lunch tray and growls a word that sounds completely harmless, until you notice the side eye. Or a moment when one mutters a phrase as they're dragged out of a lab explosion. Eyebrows singed, pride wounded. These words are tiny codes, loaded with meaning depending on who's saying them, how loud, and what just went wrong. It's wild to think about. A bunch of yellow blobs speaking nonsense, somehow building a whole slang system right under our noses. They've created an entire secret language that's clever, expressive, and hilariously real. Is blumok really a swear word? You'll never look at a lunchbox the same way again. Now, to ease your confusion, Minionese, also known as the Minion language or banana language, is the quirky and colorful tongue spoken by the lovable minions. It's not just a random collection of gibberish, though. It's a blend of different languages, all mashed up in the most hilariously unexpected ways. Picture a blend of English, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Chinese, and even some Filipino and Japanese, all wrapped into one chaotic yet charming language. Take the word banana, for example. It's the Minions' favorite food, so it only makes sense that it's a major part of their vocabulary. But they don't stop there. Ever heard of bapple? It's simply a Minion spin on the word apple. And potato? Yes, they say that too. And it's exactly what you think it is, but said in a Minion way. These little twists make the language feel familiar yet completely unique. Minionese is like a playful collage of words from all over the world. You'll hear Spanish phrases like para tu, for you, and Italian words like gelato, because who doesn't love ice cream? Then there's the Russian da, which means yes, and even a dash of French and Filipino creeping in with phrases like pule tikka masala and tropa, friends. It's a wild mix, but it works in the zany world of the Minions. What's truly fascinating about Minionese is how it feels like it could belong to any part of the world, but no one language defines it. It's like a universal language made up of pieces of others, making it easy to pick up on some words, yet still confusing enough to leave us laughing at how they make sense out of complete nonsense. So if you're new to this Minion world and hear the Minions chatter, it might sound like pure nonsense. But listen closely, and you'll find that Minionese is more than just a bunch of words thrown together. In fact, their language carries deeper meanings, creating a unique world where every word has a specific emotional connection. Take the word buddies, for instance. In English, we use it to refer to a close friend, but for the Minions, it's more than that. Buddies holds a sense of camaraderie and belonging. It's a word that binds Minions together in a way that goes beyond casual friendship. When they use it, it's a deep connection, a nod to the loyalty and teamwork that runs through their community. They don't just use it for anyone, it's reserved for those they truly share a bond with. Then there's the word boss. In English, it's often just a title, but in Minionese, it holds a much stronger connotation. To the Minions, boss doesn't just mean the person in charge. It's the individual they serve, worship, and follow. It's the figurehead of their tribe, the one they are devoted to. The Minions may joke around with their bosses, but deep down, it's a term that signifies loyalty, respect, and often a touch of fear. Words in Minionese aren't just thrown around. They're infused with emotional weight, often reflective of their collective experiences. Every time they say boss, it's a reminder of their dedication, and when they call each other buddies, it's a promise of togetherness. Their language reveals more than just how they communicate. It shows the values, relationships, and quirks that make up their vibrant culture. Minionese might sound like it came from another planet, but dig a little deeper, and you'll hear something familiar. These yellow goofballs don't just mash sounds together, they actually borrow from real languages. A lot of it comes from Asia, and it's not random. It's part of what makes their gibberish oddly recognizable. You'll hear one yell, "Kanpai," right before clinking beakers full of who knows what. That's a real Japanese toast, used when celebrating or sharing drinks. In another scene, a minion might happily shout, "Soto ayam," while face planting into a giant bowl of mystery soup. That's Indonesia's beloved chicken broth, comfort food for many, and apparently the stuff minions dream about. Then there's terima kasih, which means thank you in Indonesian. Not something you'd expect from characters who communicate mostly in food cravings and dramatic screeches. Yet they use it in moments of real gratitude, whether they're bowing after a performance or thanking a jelly-making robot. It's funny, but also kind of charming. These aren't just borrowed words, they're borrowed feelings. Every time a minion says something in another language, it's linked to a moment, a laugh, a celebration, a good meal. It shows that while the minions might not speak in full sentences, they do know how to connect with people from all over the world, even if it's through food or fireworks. The wild part? Kids laugh at the sound of it, adults catch the reference, and suddenly you're both watching the same scene but on two different levels. That's the magic of Minionese. It works like a code, one that pulls from everywhere. So next time you hear a minion shout "Kanpai" or mutter "Terima kasih" with a goofy grin, just know, it's not random, it's global, it's clever. Do the minions know more about your culture than you think? Spoiler alert, yes they do. Minionese isn't just chaos, it's clever, cheeky, and packed with surprises. One second they're shouting in Spanish, the next they're twisting Japanese into a joke, then suddenly making up a word that somehow feels right. It's like their language runs on inside jokes from around the world, and the more you listen, the more you start to get it. Their silly phrases aren't so silly after all. They're little cultural Easter eggs, emotional cues, and sometimes, total nonsense that just works. So next time you hear a minion scream "Bapple" or whisper "Papagena," don't just laugh. Think about what it could really mean. You might just uncover a hidden gem from another corner of the globe. Go ahead, figure it out. And we'll see you next time with more delightful revelations from the banana-fueled world of Minionese.